Good morning, everybody. Chef Mitch here. Today we're going to talk about my carnivore kitchen. As a decorated professional chef, I take very seriously my kitchen and the equipment that I use. This is from a carnivore's perspective. It makes our kitchens wildly different than most people because of what we eat and the ways we like to cook it. I've been doing this for over 3 years now. In those 3 years, I've had a quest. The quest has always been find the cleanest, easiest, fastest way to prepare the foods that we eat. And the handiest tools and gadgets and appliances that I've been able to find to help me accomplish that. In addition, as you know, for almost 6 months, I've had to run this kitchen with physical challenges on top of everything else, recovering from a stroke. I relied more and more on these shortcuts, these gadgets that I have. And I thought it might be interesting for you to see what I've narrowed it all down to and finally settled on as the stuff that I would have in my kitchen if this was all I could have, and still be able to do this with the ease, lack of mess, lack of cleaning, that I finally figured out and arrived at. Behind me here on my counter, I've kind of laid them all out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to one by one point them out to you, show you the link where if you want, you can get it on Amazon. Many of you already have many of these things. They may be something that you wanted and forgot about. But this, in summary, is my ideally equipped carnivore kitchen. So let me show you what I got here, and we'll talk a few minutes about why I think each one of these has become for me a real necessity. Enjoy. We'll start over here on the right. It's a box of vacuum sealer bags. A box of vacuum sealer bags from WeVac. Buying food in bulk, cooking from frozen as often as I can now, being able to freeze everything from soups to powders to steaks and everything in between has been for years one of the most valuable tools that I have. WeVac, the maker of this vacuum sealer, commercial grade CV12. Many of you have these things. They are invaluable. WeVac also sells the bags, which normally are expensive, in commercial quantities. In plain boxes, cost a small percentage of what the consumer bags cost. They're excellent bags, all PFAS free, no chemicals, perfectly safe. You can sous vide in the Weevac bags, no problem. Or you can use an air fryer and cook them from frozen by opening the bag first, of course, taking the meat out. So, along with the vacuum sealer, a good source of inexpensive but top quality bags, I use the sous vide machine a lot. It lets me cook meat to any temperature I want without the risk of overcooking it. Lately, believe it or not, I have been sous videing to 110 degrees, which is almost kind of to the raw side of rare. But when you sear it, and that's where my vide carbon steel pan comes in, when you sear it, say in butter, it brings it up to a nice rare with a really nice crust on the outside. Great flavor. Probably as healthy as you can eat a piece of meat without actually, like so many people suggest, eating it raw. I never used to like meat that rare, but I found that since I started doing it, I like it better. I like it better. The tools for that are simple. Sous vide, vacuum seal the meat so you can sous vide it, immersion circulator. This is an Innova. The link is on my website, and the bags, the link for those are on my website. These, as far as I'm concerned, are a must-have, and that's about really all I use the carbon steel pan for, is to sear sous vide meat. Now, you can cook tougher cuts of meat in a sous vide, and that seems to be what I use it for mostly these days, because you can sous vide meat like chuck, stew beef, for a day or two even, at a very low temperature. Not cook the meat, but tenderize it. And that rivals a slow cooker, but does it at much slower temperature. And then you can finish the meat any way you like. You can sear it up in a pan. You can make a soup out of it. You can do all kinds of things. So this little group right here, very important for me, very important to have in an essential carnivore kitchen. Now, you can use a cheaper vacuum sealer for sure. I know I've got 3 of them that don't work anymore in my closet over there. The Food Savers. They're finicky. They don't seal as well as they could. It's not worth the hassle. This thing is industrial grade. It's a chamber vacuum sealer. It doesn't suck the air out of the bags. It creates a vacuum in this chamber around the entire bag. And then lets the air back in the chamber. The bag collapses because there was a vacuum in it after it was sealed. And it seals double. Never had one ever lose its vacuum that I've used this for. It's not the cheapest. Overall, it's the most economical. And I think it's a good investment if you intend to do carnivore for a long time, like the rest of your life, like I. Just for fun, I threw my primal wood plate and Damascus knife, because I did that as a joke initially, but I didn't realize how satisfying it is to eat a steak or meat off of this thing and cut it with that big knife. So, while that might not be a must-have, it's certainly an enjoyable have if you're doing carnivore. The next thing, and there aren't really that many things, believe it or not. I thought I'd have a lot more of what I would consider essential for a carnivore kitchen, but this is about it. I mean, probably way less than $1,000 for everything on this table. If you've ever tried to outfit a kitchen, you know that doesn't buy you a whole lot. But the next thing, and I included this here, even though it's new to me, is my new Typhert Dome 2 air fryer. Evaluating this thing has convinced me that for the money, it is the best deal. It's on sale. It's generally always going to be on sale, within maybe $50 of the lowest price. And I'll tell you when that happens. But that air fryer and this huge basket and the ability to not have to clean it, because I have a collection of old air fryers that I just don't have it in me to spend the time and effort to really clean up all up inside them. This thing will do it itself. And this thing, if you watch my review video of it, you'll find it really doesn't get that dirty to start with. So that takes away the last thing that I'd consider drudgery about doing carnivore, because I am a real advocate of air fryers. I could cook just about everything I eat in an air fryer. For the tougher cuts of meat, there's a couple of different ways you could cook it. And for that reason, I put a slow cooker. For that reason, I put a slow cooker. They're cheap. $60-something, I think. Crock pot. You can make soups in it. Stews. Chuck roast. All of these kinds of meats that are cheap and absolutely delicious and tender when you cook them in this. So I think any well-equipped kitchen that revolves around cooking meat should have a slow cooker. You can do it in a sous vide, or you can do it in a slow cooker. Let it cook all day. Make your bone broth in here. It's a great, great tool. I would have to say it's a must-have for a carnivore kitchen. My little buddy here, I've already said recently everything I can say about this. Wonderful, wonderful. Now, I do have one more frying pan here. I have one more frying pan. That's my Mueller 12-inch stone ceramic pan. About $35. But every once in a while, it goes on sale for $25. When it does, I usually buy a couple. They're throwaways. There is no better pan to make things like bacon and eggs in. You can go to my website at OldGuyCarnivore.com. On there, I've got a page that says links to stuff I use every day. These links take you to Amazon affiliate links of mine, and when you buy something through these links, it helps support the channel. Here is everything I use, every kitchen tool, gadget, and everything else. If you think, and there's no obligation, but if you think you might want to get some of the stuff that I use in my videos and do this yourself, whether it be food, supplements, kitchen appliances, tools, gadgets, frying pans, whatever, I would really appreciate it. OldGuyCarnivore.com. Links to stuff I use page. Doesn't cost you a dime more, and you're really helping me continue to do what I do. Thanks so much, and let's get back to it now. And that's what I use it for. That's about all I use it for, but I use it at least every other day because I have bacon and eggs at least every other day. And when you cook it the way that I show you in some of my videos, when you're all done, this is what it looks like. I used this yesterday to make bacon and eggs. All I did when I was done was I wiped it out with a paper towel. Any of the grease or butter or anything left was soaked up by the eggs. I make my eggs and shrimp in here. Takes 5 minutes. Leaves an absolutely clean pan with just a thin film of either bacon grease or butter on it, which can sit out for months and not go rancid. So you just wipe it out, and that little layer of grease pretty well seasons it for the next time. So this is a must-have, and for at the most 35 bucks, everybody should have one of these on the stove, and another one maybe put back in the cabinet for when this gets discolored or scratched, because it will. Mine generally lasts me 8 months to a year. For the cost of a ribeye steak, you could treat yourself to a new frying pan every year. I got a couple of little gadgets here. These are thermometers. Cooking thermometers are essential to have your food come out right. This food is too expensive for us to guess. Don't hesitate to measure the temperature. There's a Bluetooth thermometer. This one is a meter. Typher is sending me their Bluetooth thermometer to evaluate. Either one, these things allow you to monitor the temperature while you cook. If you should put something in your oven, throw this in there. All you have to do is take the probe, stick it in the meat. Got an app on your cell phone. You don't even need the app with the Typher. It's got the numbers on a base station. And it's going to come out perfect. You could time it right down to the minute so that if you want your steak rare, it's going to be rare. If you want it medium rare, it's going to be medium rare. If you like it well done, you can be assured that it's well done. Exactly the way you want it. Incredibly valuable tool. I use it constantly. And you've all seen me using my handheld thermometer. These things are, this gets used a couple times a day. And it's got a nice sharp probe. You just stick it in the meat, whether it's in the frying pan, pull it out of the oven, stick it in, pull it out of the air fryer tray, test it. Has a magnet on it, sticks up to the range hood. It's always there, always handy. Cheap. You can't be a cook without one of these. And this is something that maybe you can live without, but when it comes to searing meat in a frying pan, this is the thermometer. You just point it at what you want to read, and it reads the temperature. Infrared. Take your frying pan and decide you want to make some fried shrimp with pork rind coating, and you don't want the grease to get any higher than, say, 375. You want one of these. They cost less than 20 bucks, I think, and it's a very, very good tool. That's it. One more thing. If you make bacon, you like to cook in bacon grease, get one of these gizmos. Stainless steel. Bacon grease catcher. It's got a filter in it. You take the lid off, you pour the bacon grease in there, filters it. You end up with 2 quarts of clean bacon grease. Time for me to empty this one again but I've already got about a gallon of it in the refrigerator. One thing around this house, there's never any shortage of bacon grease to use to cook. I love that. This is a must-have as far as I'm concerned as well. And that's it. That's basically it. So with all that being said, I hope you'll learn a little something from this. I may add some things to this in the next year, but at least once a year, I like to make a video and show you pretty much the state of affairs in Mitch's Carnivore Kitchen. So my friends, with that being said, I will sign off. Chef Mitch here. Take the rest of the day off and eat meat.